Welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, pertaining to wherever you might be located in the world. My name is Hartej and I'm a marketing specialist at Statusbrew. Today we're going to talk about the topic how much you should be spending on your social media marketing for your business, or how much money you should allocate in the budget to the marketing on social media to your business. And just a little housekeeping before we get started. All the attendees have been muted by default for the best experience of the webinar for everyone and for the recording, which is going to be shared with all of you tomorrow. And I want to say, whenever during the webinar, if you have any questions, please send them in. You will have the answers to all of them by tomorrow. And we will just wait for 2 more minutes for the rest of the attendees who might have got a little late to join us. And then we'll jump into the agenda of the day and discuss the topic of the webinar, that how much you should be spending on your social media marketing. Hello again, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. So we are discussing the topic that how much you should be allocating to your social media marketing for your business now, whenever you make a new budget. If you have any comments or you have any questions, please join us on Twitter with the hashtag BrewTalk and we will connect with you. That is my picture. My name is Hartej and the agenda for the day. So we're going to talk about how much you should be allocating to your social media marketing in your budget. While you're preparing the budget for your marketing, there are so many aspects that you have to keep in mind. First of all, you should begin by doing a social media audit, like for the social media presence of your business. And so that after that, from there, you can start developing your budget. And then we will discuss about the percentage of the gross revenue that other businesses are allocating to their marketing nowadays. And then after looking into that, we will discuss that what percentage of the marketing budget is being allocated to social media marketing. And then we will be discussing that why is it important for you to define your target audience? What are the benefits of that? And after looking into target audience, we will look into choosing social media channels. And we will also talk about all the social media channels that do allow advertisements on them. So choosing social media channels, there are so many channels, but when you define your target audience, there are only a particular, like some of the social media channels which will exactly work for your marketing on social media for your business. So choosing social media channels is also a very important part of this. And then we will discuss the effect of creativity on the return on investment and the cost of our advertisements that we spend on them. And then after looking into the effect of creativity, we will look into the comparison between video content and static images content that are used for marketing of the businesses. And then we will see that, how we will video nowadays is actually blooming, and it's actually in comparatively, what was being allocated to the video marketing in 2016 is actually it's already increased a lot than before. But by 2021, they foresee that it's going to double what was being spent on that. So after discussing the comparison of video and static images, we will discuss about the additional costs of advertisement. So the ad spend that we do for our business is not the only expenditure that we do. So there are other expenditures for the advertisements that we do too. And then we will discuss these things that you should keep in mind so that you can make a little more informed budget, and the process that you follow while making your budget is an informed one. So the objective of all this discussion is that we will have a clearer vision of all the peripherals while budgeting for a social media marketing. and for our business, and we will be sure that all the dollars that we have spent on the social media marketing for our business are like they are not they're used wisely, and that they are not wasted. And the first topic that we are going to look into, that why is it important to do a social media audit for your business before you start preparing a budget for your business. Like when it is about advertising on your social media, it's best to be cautious and move ahead with a predefined budget in mind, so that we must never fail to remember that spending more money doesn't always pair with greater success. And it's quite easy actually to waste money on social media, like advertisements, when we do it, like the channels that you do and the way that you do. So you gotta see that you are exactly just spending your money on exactly what you are targeting. So looking into the social media audit, that when you start making a budget, you should definitely perform a social media presence audit for your business. So what is social media audit? So the basic steps, there are 3 steps, the basics of that are included in doing a social media presence audit for your business. Like first of all is that we look into the strategies, that have been working or are working, and they are giving us optimum results. That, we would not like to do something that we're just pushing money into and then it's not giving us any kind of results or anything. So exactly. So the second thing over here is that which strategies are not working and repeatedly failing to give returns to our investments. So again, as I said, we do not want to invest in something that we are not getting returns of. And then the third thing is that what can be done actually to get like better results out of these social media efforts that you are doing on your chosen social media platforms. So it basically it helps us in doing like a social media audit. It basically helps us in understanding the execution of the various campaigns that we are doing for our business, and then we get a picture of that where it is lacking, and so that we can do some input or changes over there so that it can start giving us better results. So by knowing the weaknesses and strengths of our execution, like whatever business marketing executions that we're doing, like we'll actually be in a better place to improve it. And it also helps us in uncovering more opportunities that might have been missed, because like as time go, you see more relations that what you can do for your business, and then you might have skipped doing that in the past. So like it also, doing an audit for our business, it also portrays our brand in positive light in front of the prospects or like already existing customers that we have. And then we should you should analyze like the success and the failure of like the various marketing campaigns that you have been doing for your business. And then also see that what kind of conversions are getting out of or how how many conversions are we getting, what is the cost of each conversion, and the various factors that are affecting the conversion rate. So doing an audit gives us an insight about all of these things. Like we actually with doing an audit, we get to know we also get to know like our position in comparison to our competitors, so that we can actually start applying tactics that they might be ignoring, or they are not targeting. So we can actually start working on that. We don't certainly have to copy exactly what they are doing, but it is good for our knowledge to know that what steps are being taken by them, or some step that is working very good for them. We can also do that, but then maybe have some tweaks in it, or just to get better results out of it. It gives us, like, doing a social media audit gives us clarity that we wouldn't have found otherwise, and it actually also removes any immediate blockages that might having hindering one of our campaigns, or one or multiple, like many of our campaigns. Like, we get to know about the hindrances as well. It's just like when our houses, when we have like a huge like house cleaning task, and even what social media audit does it for that, it actually cleans and makes our campaigns that we are doing, makes us take smarter decisions for them. It definitely takes like some extra effort, that when you have to carry it out. But in the end, if you look at it, like if you weigh the benefits, and if you the effort that you put against, like when you are doing the audit for your business, and you will see that the benefits outweigh the effort that you are putting in. And then after you have done the social media marketing audit, you will be able to do like many minor tweaks, like to your campaigns, that are only going to enhance our social media marketing, on a broader scale, actually. And it is just only going to get us positive returns on like whatever investment that we have done. So doing a social media audit, like whenever we're making a budget for our business, so we should start from doing a social media audit. So the next, we will look into that what amount of gross revenue is being spent on marketing in the industry by businesses. So and then what category do they belong to, and then what exactly, how much percentage of their like gross revenue they're allocating to the marketing efforts for their business. So we see from this graph over here, which was like sourced from webstrategiesinc.com, we see that the marketing percentage, like spending, whatever spending on marketing has been done by the businesses as a part of their revenue. It's actually it fluctuates every time, and it's never stagnant or stable. They're not sticking with the same budget that they have for their marketing. So it usually hovers between 6.5 to 8.5%. Just except August of 2012, that you can see that it did spiked up to 11%, but that's the only time that we see since 2012 to 2018. So like just with this, we also see that the maximum allocation of their gross revenue was done by business to client services. So these people, people who are just providing services to customers or clients, so they've invested maximum into their marketing. And then after that, they're closely followed by business to customer product services. So sorry, not services, but product businesses. So they allocated 9.6% of their whatever the gross revenue was on an average. They allocated the 9.6% to marketing. And then business to business products and services, they are close by, but usually they have lesser expenditure compared to like the customers or the clients, because usually that's like business to customers, they target like layman or every normal man. But then business to business, like even if services or products they gotta sell, they contact the businesses directly. So again, we see that business to customer services increased like their marketing budgets as a percent of revenue quite a bit in 2018 over like the previous year, actually, and rising from 7.3 to 11.8%. So you should use a few established industry trends to set a baseline while you are setting up a budget for your business. Your total marketing budget should usually be between 5 and 15% of the total revenue of your business or your company. And then like out of that, the whatever allocation that you have done to your business for marketing, out of that budget, like you should allocate like 10 to 50%, 10 to 50% of that budget should be allocated to social media marketing. And then like depending on like that, all that percentage what you allocate to social media marketing actually depends on who is your target market. So that is about like what percent, how much, what percentage of the gross revenue businesses are appointing or allocating to social media, to marketing for their business. Next, we will see that what percentage of the budget is being allocated to social media in the market, and then how like different businesses they might be allocating whatever percentage of their budget is being allocated to social media marketing. So we see over here, like the graph shows that, the traditional advertising spend has actually been pretty stagnant, and it's actually decreased with time. So now, and if you see the social media marketing, that has only increased with time. Like even Forrester Research and eMarketer, they did do a study that, the reports from them, they estimated they did estimate like whatever funds we were like allocating on either offline or online, and like whatever different social media channels that you might have chosen for your marketing. So here are some conclusions from the report. Like in 2018, the average firm was like expected, like they were expected to allocate about 42% of their marketing like budget to like their online endeavors, and this is actually expected to grow to 45% of the marketing budget by 2020. And then in these things, like the search engine marketing will actually capture the largest share of like whatever online expenditure that is being done. Like either it is ads that include like banner ads, or like even online videos that etc., like that. So that all is going to be included in this marketing. And like like taking like video actually takes the second largest share, and this is going to represent like the highest growth that it has seen, like as I told you before as well. Like so they're already anticipating the investment, like already the investment that was done, like that did certainly increase in 2016 as well. That number is going to double by 2021. So like the social media advertisements, like they will actually keep on growing at like a compounded annual growth rate like of 17%, like from like and this rate applies to like the like time frame of 2016 to 2021 actually. And it's actually like, although, and it is actually expected like that it will represent almost 25% of online spending for advertisements or any kind of expenditure that is done online. So it is like digital marketing itself, like it's actually pacing at a growth rate of like 11% every year actually. And the biggest growth that has increased is in online video marketing. And as I told you, like it is going to double the number that was invested in it in 2016. And so like, and the investment that are done for marketing, and like even in paid searches or display advertisements, on or social media advertising, like or video advertising or email advertising, it's like predicted to account for like 46% of total advertising that is going to be done in by 2021. Now we will look into that. Why is it important to define your target market? So one of the biggest mistakes that that budding like personal brands like startups or they make is that they want to they want to appeal to everyone. We can think about the game of dots. We have to aim in order to hit the board. If we just let the dart go without aiming it, or it's like a half-hearted try, then we might not scare. But then if we hit the board, we are going to score, sorry. And the thing is, and if we are good at our aim, and if we hit the bullseye, it's even better. So exactly that's applicable to marketing as well. So if we are targeting something that we actually are have rounded up, or we know that is our target, so we can hit as close as possible to that actually. And then it is actually a known fact as well that defining a target audience or is like a business best practice actually. And then it's like, although like being like defining your target market is also a best practice that like for anyone actually, that needs even it is a best practice for anyone who wants something from others. So it might be an investment, or even money in exchange, of a product or a service that we are providing the next person. Then whenever we need something, we go through the same process, or at least some of the steps of defining like our target audience. So like we go through like all the process, like we went through actually we did go through the process in an early age as well. So if you think about like when we were kids and we wanted a treat, so we never went to our father, we never went to a dad, because we already knew that he will probably say no to our request to get us candy or a chocolate. We knew that we rather went to our mother. We went to mom for the request of the candy as well, because we knew there was a better chance that she was going to say yes to that request. And even on top of that, we certainly made sure that we catch her in the right mood, so that we have a higher probability of her saying yes to our request. So like this is a very general topic. But although with so this is actually like a topic that an example that defining how we've also practiced defining our target audience. And this basic example exemplifies that. And then so businesses actually go through that same process as well to define their target audience. So it doesn't make sense to try to please everyone, right? Our time, energy, and money, it's actually better invested in the exact target audience. If we've already defined it, it's better that we will get more results out of that. Whatever investment that we do, our returns on that will be better. And that also all this is definitely applicable when we are making our budget. So we should know that who exactly is our target audience, for whom we are designing our marketing efforts, so that we can allocate whatever part of our marketing budget to that exact thing, and market for that. So if you look at this table, you will see that Facebook remains like it's one of the most widely used social media platforms. So and that too as well by a relatively like a healthy margin. Like almost 68% of US adults are now using like Facebook. And then other than video sharing platforms like YouTube, like none of the other sites or apps are measured in the survey as used by more than 40% of Americans actually. And then YouTube, while not it's not a traditional social media channel, people were not that into like videos and all that, but now like people don't watch televisions as much they are on YouTube. So it has actually increased. So similarly, as I told you, the investment in video marketing is also increasing, and it's going to double in like till 2021 whatever was invested in it in 2016. So and you would see that YouTube is not a traditional channel, but it is used by 73%, a staggering 73% of like the US adults, and like a whopping, like you would see that that number, 94% of 18 to 24-year-olds, they use and are on YouTube. And then this was actually, this research that we are actually looking at was done by Pew Research Center, or we can say PEW Research Center. And then they ask about like these five platforms basically. Like they ask about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. And like in several like previous surveys of technology use, and for the most part and for the most part, like the share of Americans who use each of these services is similar to what the center found in its previous survey of social media as well, and that they performed in April 2016. The most notable exception is Instagram, actually. Like 35% of the adults now say like they use this platform, and which is an increase of 7%, like from 2016. So when they performed the same survey in 2016, they got like a number of 28% of the adults were using Instagram, and which has increased to 35% now. So defining your target audience will help you in defining, as in making your budget and targeting it exactly, spending your budget on the exact marketing efforts that target your target audience. And then after you've done that, then even the social media channels that you want to use for the marketing of your product or the services, you want to make sure that your target customer is using that platform, and like knowing a customer is actually very crucial, when when we choose a social network, then rather than wasting our time and resources, on like being active on other social networks that our customers are not using, we would just be wasting our money and time. So if we exactly know that what they are using, that's where we want to be, and that's where we will get the best return on our investment as well. So just like that. So if most of our customers, they're on Facebook, it will never make sense for us, to be active on Instagram or like even on Twitter or any other channel actually. And for this, we should also know like what are the benefits of each social network. So like every social network has its strengths, like they also have their weaknesses, and like along like knowing our customer, and our business, obviously, we should also understand like the benefits of each of these social platforms that we are using for marketing our product or services. Like Twitter, like if our business is fast paced, and it's ever changing, so Twitter will allow us to post like breaking newses or even important messages, like announcements, or like if there are like announcements regarding our business or anything, and we can just post them on Twitter as well to reach our audience, and other whatever other up-to-date information might be coming up. And it is also Twitter is also like it's a great platform for posting, for actually posting like textual content, like like we might be posting articles or quotes like that might be positive or are supporting our business. So just like it's not just like the Twitter, but Facebook, is the largest social media platform in the world. Like it boasts more than 2 billion active users monthly. So like and about 61% of the users are Americans between the age of 25 and 54. So looking at Facebook, what Facebook works well for is that, it works well for generating, so lead generation, generating leads, and it's great for advertising as well. And then if we want to build relationships with our customers, it's great for that as well. So like just about we can actually just about anything can be posted on Facebook, like even from images to videos, and like, even if we want to post like textual content, we can do that as well. And then we look into Pinterest. So Pinterest is actually a highly like underrated platform. Pinterest is a like visual based social network which like more than 100 million people are monthly users who are coming onto Pinterest. And if you sell any type of product, Pinterest is a social network you need to be on. Like promoted, whatever pins that are being promoted, they allow us to target like specific types of users, and link directly like to them, or link them to our shops, and like or our product pages, so that like they can get familiar with whatever services or products that you are selling. And then like according to Shopify, 90% of users plan their purchases using Pinterest. So they might be interested in something, but then they go to Pinterest, and Shopify said that almost 90% of those shoppers, they make their final decision using Pinterest. And then we look into Instagram. So Instagram, just like Pinterest, Instagram is a graphics heavy social network. But here's like where it differs from its like pin-based counterpart. Instagram has a younger audience actually, compared when we compare like the audience that's what I meant. Like when you have exactly your target audience defined, then you will know like how right now we say that Instagram actually boasts like a younger audience than Pinterest. So if you are targeting for your the target for your product or your business is a younger audience, you would like to be on Instagram rather than Pinterest. And then comes YouTube. So it basically offers like video based content, and then it's YouTube is ideal like for businesses that can offer like do it yourself videos, and tutorials, and like even educational information, like such as home services or medical professionals, beauty gurus, and just like them, product creators. So like finding the right platform for your business is very crucial actually, and it may be it may be a matter of like trial and error before like you find the most effective network you use. You should use like these tips to avoid wasting time and your money on social networks that like won't be effective or beneficial for you. So you should definitely be defining like choosing what social media channels that you want to market on. So then after that we'll look into these social media channels which are allowing or do allow advertising. So on top is actually Facebook. So it boasts like more than 2 billion people who come online on Facebook monthly. So and then 1.3 billion users on their messenger as well. So Facebook boasts the biggest number of the people or users that any social media channel has online. And then it is followed by YouTube, which has 1.5 billion, then Instagram, LinkedIn. So exactly, so once you define your target audience, whom you are actually targeting, you can choose whatever one of these, two of these, or you should start with a max of like 3, I would say, but 2 is good, but you can start with 3 as well. But you can choose your social medias that you want to market on from here. Now we'll discuss how does creativity has an effect on our return on investment, or like the cost of the advertisements that we do. And then It's definitely, we do understand that, it definitely, like when we add creativity to the advertisements that we are doing on social media for our business, it does like definitely take more time. Like, we have to invest more energy and money into it, actually, to like, to add it to the advertising that we're doing on social media channels. And then like most and many businesses actually find these efforts are actually worth it to do, like in the long run, actually. So like typically, if we see, like if you see that the like content that is creative and engaging, they connect with their audiences better, and they help us gain like more organic momentum that our advertisements can acquire, actually, because they are connecting with the audience better. And then if we have that kind of content, it's more likely to get like comments or likes, or share, or people share it because they like it. We must then, you must align the content with the sort of content that have people have come to expect. So whatever you've defined your target audience, and then you've chosen the channels that you want to market on, but you want to make sure whatever they do expect, and whatever, like either it's the size of the pictures, or it is whatever their word count is. So following all of that, and precisely, like, manufacturing whatever content that you want for that channel to be according to their requirements, you must do that. And then we should also like avoid constant selling ads, like, the newspaper style ads where they're aggressively asking the customer to buy, buy. We should actually ask ourselves as well, like, would it be something that we would enjoy having on our news feed? So, we would want to provide something that our customers will enjoy as well. And creativity pays off, and it pays off in the long run and as well as in the short run as well. So over time, like, social media channels like Facebook as well, they are likely to pick up on advertisers who produce like quality content, and then the like ignore the ones who miss the mark. While most of the social networks, they do want to, like, all of them do want to make money, but most of them refuse to do that at the expense of like a user enjoyment. Like, they do not want to have bad content playing on their, like, although even if it is paid for or something, but then they will prefer something that the user seems to enjoy more. So, like content that is creative and that is high quality, and it actually is a win-win situation for everyone involved, like even for the person who is viewing that content, or the people who have actually made that content. So it is like a win-win situation for all of them. So, Facebook, like, for instance, will also like help ads perform better if people appear to be enjoying them more. Like, if people are enjoying a certain content, like, even Facebook, helps them, like, to perform better, so that, they'll push it to more users, so that like, they know that the content that they are pushing, people are enjoying that. And then like, enjoyment is primarily measured like by whatever likes your content gets, or the shares that it gets, and, like, in other words, actually good quality content has the potential of reaching more customers, like, for, like, it actually, which comes out to be a lower, cost for per interaction that we do. So creativity has a positive effect in the long and the short run as well. Next, we will look into the content of advertisements, like a comparison between the video content and static content, and how do they perform. So like, there are like a lot of different ways that, people like to advertise for their businesses on the social media, actually. And then like in the older times, people were or businesses were more familiar with marketing efforts that were done with like static images rather than um, rather than the video, which has a growing segment of advertisers who are actually preferring like the video ads more in now times. So like video is typically like more challenging, like it's more expensive to make. And then like like if it's a static image, it's just a click, that's not that much of an investment. But if a video has to be made, that takes like a lot of thinking, a lot of creativity, and investment is definitely more than whatever is being invested in a static image. And then a business is actually also will also have like a bigger impact, like on their target audience with a video advertisement, rather than something that is static, like a picture or something. And then like the great thing about the video is that it's like a piece of a video content, like it can often be used like across multiple platforms, and it tends to have like a longer shelf life than images. You can like even break a video content, you can break the video into different length of clips and then use them in different capacities for advertising, like different aspects of your business on different platforms, your chosen platforms, whatever you've chosen. So, and many of the social platforms, even platforms like Facebook, they actually give some degree of preference to video content, like even if it is paid video content. So they give like preference to that, more preference to that over static images. And so these two images that we see right over here, like this was actually a test done by Social Media Today. Like they performed a test on Facebook's ad formats, and then they compared the static image ads to the video ads, and the results when they compared them were quite phenomenal. Like for almost the half expenditure that was done on the video campaign, like then whatever they spent, or the static images costed them, they spent like half of that money on their video ads, and they got like 3 times more conversions with their videos. So which was also like if you convert, it's almost like an increase of 196% of whatever they've invested. So you can see like these two, when we are like whatever they've spent on the Facebook, like in case of video and image, and like when it's compared to how much did it cost for them, for people, for customers to convert based on that ad, because of that ad. So in every single measure, basically, like the video campaign actually knocked out the static image campaign, like actually out of the park. Clicks were almost up by like 59%, and then the reach was up by 34%, and CTR, click-through rate, CTR, the short form for that, was up by like 61%. And the biggest difference was on the return, that came, like the return on ad spend, whatever they spend, like they did not spend as much on video, and they gained so much out of that. They gained so many more conversions out of their video content. So you should prefer, in times of today, you should definitely prefer video content over static images content. And now next we will look into the additional costs that we do make, like for our advertisement expenditures. So when we like do the ad spend, or make the advertisement, or that's not the only expenditure that's done in the marketing of a business. This is actually, it gives you a rough estimate of like how much like if there's 100% budget for the marketing for the social media marketing of a firm, and so if 40% of that goes into the ad spend, so the social media strategy that they develop for their business, That takes like roughly like 10% of that. Then we have project management, which takes almost 5% of that. And then the designs, graphics, and videography and visuals, when that's done, that's like 30%. And then whatever channels we pick for the advertisements of the whatever we've created, that ad expenditure is like 40% of that social media marketing. And then 10% is given to copywriting, and then 5% is at the later stage when we track the results of our campaigns. So if we are like, acquiring a team, like a marketing team, a in-house marketing team, we need to make sure that they oversee like social media management, which would include like aspects like publishing, listening, or engagement, all of these things online for their social handles. So they need to look into this, like, they need to maintain or manage their social media. And then like they got to prepare the strategy and got to look into the analytics, like whatever campaigns they are putting in place, or how are they performing, and if there is something that they need to do. Then they also got to look into content creation. So they got to keep on coming up with new content that they share on their social media channels, or even the advertisements they do. They don't want to run the same ad like, year over year or month over month. And then they have to manage the community, and then also plan on the various campaigns and promotions that they are going to do for the business. And in case we don't have an in-house marketing team that is looking into all of these aspects, if we hire like an actual agency, like for managing our social media, managing our social media efforts, so like, that will actually levy like extra monthly costs on our business actually. And then they can range on the range that shows for whatever your requirements are. So just for example, we'll talk about a few things. So, and this was just to tell you guys, this study was done by Salesforce, but on 2,500 or like about that much number of different firms that they consulted. And then this was an average that they got, that, like if you get an agency to oversee these tasks, you have to put this amount of the money into that. So if you want to like create a new Twitter account, and like from scratch, actually they will charge you like anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000 like every month. And just like that, if you want to restructure an account which is already existing, that you might have to part out like $1,000 to $2,500 per month. So for setting up a new Facebook account, you will have to give $2,500 to $5,000 per month. So just like that, you will credit if you hire an agency to create a social strategy and at least manage like 2 social networks, they can charge you anywhere between $4,000 and $7,000 per month. And just like that, if you want an agency to perform an audit for your various accounts as well, and provide you training for some of them, they can charge you anywhere between $2,000 to $10,000 every month. And then, like an analysis, was actually done. This Salesforce uses this was actually performed by Content Factory, and then they revealed that the industry average, the industry averages if you are hiring for social media services, they cost anywhere between $4,000 to $7,000 a month, and that can, like, if you look into per day, you are advertising for something between $200 to $350 every day. So you need to keep these things in mind as well, that while you are creating your budget, that if you are going to hire like in-house people, or you are going to hire an agency, social media marketing agency. So next we will talk about things that you should keep in mind while making certain certain decisions for while making the budget for your business, so that you make more informed budgeting decisions for whatever steps that you are taking for your business, that they are more informed and right ones. So first of all, as I say that you need to know that what are the key performance indicators for your business. What are the KPIs that are like actually tied to your businesses or company success. And then we should also know that, like how we are going to measure these KPIs, and then once we get the data from them, whatever returns, what are we going to do with that data? How are we going to implement that? And then another mistake, that businesses usually or do is that they don't they set a goal that they have to achieve, but they don't hold anybody accountable for hitting that goal. So usually, so when nobody's responsible for attaining or for a certain goal, it doesn't get done actually. And then everybody has an excuse to hide behind, because from the start itself it was not allocated to a single person that that this is the goal we have to achieve. So with them, you also need to be sure about the timing and the duration of your marketing efforts. So we need to set our objectives, and then the time constraints around them as well. And then how we are going to accomplish, how long we have the time in which we are going to accomplish a certain goal. And then the time exactly in what we are going to do that. So we need to define that ahead of time, so that we know what we are aiming at and what we need to prioritize and finish it by. The second one is risk tolerance. So we have to actually assess our risk tolerance as well. So do we have enough budget? Do we have enough resources to take, to actually take a scattershot approach, to test multiple approaches at the same time? Or do we have to keep enough powder in the reserve and only focus on one or two opportunities at a time, so that we don't spread ourselves too thin? And then after keeping risk tolerance in mind, you should also be aware of what kind of competitive pressure is existing in the market for you. Because your competitors will always play a big role in whatever budgeting decisions that you make. So we should not always base our decisions on our competitors, what they are doing. We don't need to do that, but we need to know what they are doing, and then that and then we expect them to be more or less aggressive in the coming year, or what kind of strategies or how they are attacking, if they are. And then if we look at how aggressive they are. So, and then we also get to know what are the opportunities, or we might even see some gaps that in their strategies that they're not exploiting, and then we can actually exploit those, if we keep a check on our on competitors as well. And then data and analysis requirements, you should definitely work on that. So we need to consider the amount of data, the types of analysis that we want to perform actually. So we need to ask ourselves these questions, what do we want to learn, and what kind of data do we need to collect, so that we can use all of that to make better decisions in the future. Then comes we should know that we do target audience behaviors. We do define our target audience, but just defining target audience is not it does not, we should not stop over there. We need to understand more about our target audience. Things where are they going online, what are they browsing actually, and what social media are the type of content consumption they are doing, or the tools they are using, all those kind of things. We should keep studying that. And then the next is that we should definitely use analytics and tools and methodologies. Yeah. So we need to know, so what kind of analytic tools and the like data capture methodologies do we want to use, so and how are we going to take advantage, like, once we gather that particular data that we are looking into, and how we are going to apply that into our marketing efforts, or like whatever we do on our social media marketing campaigns, and then what's the upfront cost of like what's the upfront cost, or like ongoing of with like all the investments that we have. And then we should also keep in mind, like, what is our basic visitor acquisition cost. So like how much is it going to cost us to like acquire traffic for our business. This is actually basically represented in a CPC, or cost per click model, you can say, or like, or you can use the cost per thousand impressions. So that is also the short form for that is a CPM model, like depending on like whatever type of advertisements we are doing and we are buying. These are actually the most common form of advertising is expense on social media that is being done. We should also keep in mind that staffing and training, so whatever expense we are going to do on that, so of course, like, we have and we will have like requirements of staffing or like training our employees. We have like, we have teams like marketing team employees, like we have agencies, we have the training and onboarding and systems that actually go along with supporting those teams, right? So we should not forget about the expenditure that we hire new people, but then for them to perform the exact task that we want them to, we will have to train them, and then like give them, like, staff them and train them according to whatever task they have on hand. And the last thing is testing and optimization. So like a lot of us, like marketers, basically, like we overlook like the testing and optimization investments. They actually need to be made continually, like, to actually refine whatever expenditure we are doing on our marketing and our budgets. And we can, due to this, we can also refine the ads that we are doing, so that we can make them to be more effective. And like, if we keep testing these new things, then we can use whatever we learn in building our strategies, and implementing them like in iterative fashion, like over time, so that we can test and improve our own way, for better results out of whatever like investment that we are doing. So like when taken as a whole, all of these factors can help us build a more informed marketing budget, and even the process that we follow for making the budget for our business can be a more informed one. And with that we can make better choices, that better educated choices as well, so that we'll have a better idea of what we are going to do in the next year as well. And with this, like, I hope everything that we talked about was useful for you. And I would like to end our today's webinar with this saying by Eric Coleman. He's actually like a speaker, and he's also an author. Like he's keynote speaker, and he's an author. He's written about 4 or 5 books, and he's quite active on social media as well. So he said, we don't have a choice on whether we do social media. The question is how well we do it. Thank you.